to open up. Kranitz looks absolutely gassed as he walks off, but at least he gets the victory for the Panthers.
Absolutely, and that's got to feel good for him as well. Just wrestling some so talented guys. He had a ranked opponent at Lehigh. He wrestled Gabe Arnold at Iowa. Just to be able to go out there, it might not have been against a ranked opponent, but to still get that win and to last through 7 minutes of tough wrestling for sure.
Yeah, that's the key, and you want to get yourself in deep waters here at the beginning of the season, see what you have, and Kranitz certainly answered the bell there, and I'll give credit to -2. He wrestled the whole 7 minutes and just a couple seconds short there, picking up that takedown at the end.
And heading into this, I hope I don't jinx myself yet again. This could potentially be our match of the day. Number 5, Max Stout for the Pitt Panthers, and number 12, Dillon Bechtold for the Bucknell Bison.
Yeah, this was the one that I circled, Katie, on the card, and I was most looking forward to it. I think Stout is just one of the most consistent wrestlers across the country. Again, really good defense, but pairs that very nicely with effective offense as well.
Yeah, and Bechtold just having a pretty good season as well. Last year did lose to Stout in their duel by a score of 4-2. So, if you're Bechtold, you got that chip on your shoulder. You're looking at this All-American who you almost beat, just, lost by the skin of your teeth last year, trying to go in and find a way to win.
Yeah. You definitely want to obviously make up for that loss, but it's also you're thinking about, okay, if I can beat the number 5 wrestler, that elevates my profile and everything as far as looking towards NCAA. So to have this matchup so early in the season, I think is great for both wrestlers, actually. And 197 has been such a great weight for the Panthers over the last 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, Dom, what was that guy's name who won that national title a few years ago?
That's Nino Bonacorsi you're talking about, Katie. Actually, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and it's not just because we shared a high school at Bethel Park.
Bonacorsi had a great run his senior year, finished on top with that national title. First national title for Pitt since head coach Keith Gavin won in 2008.
Yeah, really important, and just Nino was obviously came in with great accolades, but just continued to get better and eventually just broke through with that national championship. And Stout, very similar to Bonacorsi in that way. We've seen consistent improvement. He made the podium last year, 7th place finish, All-American, the only All-American for the Panthers last year. And I think obviously comes in highly ranked at 5th this year. So I think he has his sights set a little bit higher.
Right, and that's exactly what we've seen this year, especially in terms of duel. He's picked up his tech falls multiple times. He did lose his match against his Iowa opponent, number 8, Masamoma Ndine, 5-4. As time expired, he was able to get that takedown.
Yeah, and that was a rough one, Katie. I watched that match, obviously, and I felt like Stout was certainly the better wrestler through most of that. He was the only wrestler really to get any effective shots off. And Ndine literally fell into that takedown at the end, and Stout was wrestling on the edge of the match. Just I don't think had maybe great awareness of where he was at, and the environment there was also crazy. I don't think that impacted Stout, but what it did do, I think, is raise the level of the Iowa wrestler, and sometimes that gets lost is the home crowd elevates the home wrestler. It's not always about getting to the head of the opponent.
Exactly. Now, sitting here in the first period, just about to end, going into the second, no points on the board. But what we've seen for Bechtold this year, his losses have been so close, especially in terms of ranked opponents. He lost to Oklahoma's number 8, DJ Parker, 6-5.
It's a tight battle, and it's basically what we've seen in that first period is this thing is going to be tight. It might be a single takedown here that decides this. And the key is, when you're in that position, if you have an opportunity, you've got to finish.
Right, and Stout looking to peel the hands as he starts on bottom. Bechtold with the mat return.
The thing about Stout is he's great really in every position, top, bottom, on his feet, great defensively, pairs it well with really effective offense. So there's really no holes in his game, which is one of the reasons why he was an All-American last year. So Bechtold here, great opportunity to elevate his profile.
Stout unable to peel the hands. Bechtold starting to accrue some riding time.
Yeah, we've seen Stout get to his feet very easily, but he just hasn't been able to peel those hands off, as you mentioned. As that action spills off the mat.
Stout looking a little frustrated that he's not able to get off bottom and find himself back in neutral.
It can be, yeah, especially when you get to your feet so quickly. I think sometimes just not being able to peel those hands off is, I thought we might get another caution there, but it was a good start. So again, Stout is able to elevate up to his feet, turn in, and it looks like he did get the escape.
We're working with about a minute left in the second. Now we got to see Bechtold get on some offense, but it's been a pretty even match thus far. It's not as though there hasn't been any action. It's just that you have two very pound-for-pound wrestlers right now.
Yeah. And Stout, quite honestly, at 197 sometimes looks a lot bigger than that. He's a bigger wrestler, great defense, as we mentioned. Even when you think you're in deep, he's just able to fight it off. And Bechtold, I've been impressed with as well. Like, he's frustrated Stout at times. We haven't seen Stout really have a great opportunity yet in this match.
Lots of ties and some pretty decent underhooks so far as we work with 30 seconds left.
Sometimes you see that as the heavier weights. Sometimes it's difficult to get out of these ties. They tend not to be as explosive as some of the lighter weights, but Stout is trying to circle in.
Bechtold scrambled out of that one, very slick.
Yeah, Stout kind of felt him. He was just working with him. And again, that was that kind of like one mistake I was talking about. I really feel like there's one takedown is going to decide this match. And Bechtold had the defense there to prevent Stout from getting that in the second period.
Riding time not a factor going into the third. Bechtold on bottom. Stout's either going to have to ride him out or let him up and get the takedown.
And Stout pretty good on top. Bechtold got to his feet relatively easily. Stout not super committed to that ride there. I think he wants to try to win it on the feet.
1 point escape for Bechtold, and we are both at ones here in the 197-pound match.
So this is a big one. Panthers lead the duel 15-10. Bechtold now in on the leg, and Stout is able to scramble away. So that was the first good shot we've seen by Bechtold. Each wrestler has had one so far.
Starting to work a little bit more towards the edge of the mat. Got a circle in, hearing some shouts of stalling. I personally am not seeing it quite yet, but it's something, you know, with less than 90 seconds left in this match, you have to have that sense of urgency if you're either wrestler, because the last place you want to end up is in that sudden victory spot.
The sudden victory sometimes can be very, very brutal, yeah. So ideally you want to finish on your feet here, hopefully in regulation. A little bit of a half shot there by Bechtold as we go under a minute.
Riding time still not a factor in this match. Been working on neutral.
Stout trying to bounce around. Bechtold's really had his back to the center of the mat really this entire match. A lot of hand fighting. It looked like Stout was trying to work a little 2-on-1 on that right arm for a moment.
Maybe I'll jinx myself again and Stout wants to finish this in sudden victory. Does that mean we get a shot off now that I said that?
We should, yeah. But I wouldn't mind sudden victory. Certainly the crowd likes that incitement. There was Stout there with a shot. Bechtold able to fight it off.
Got about 10 seconds remaining here in this third with a stall warning on Bechtold.
And that's big as we move into sudden victory if it goes there. Stout trying to press the issue. And the key there was Stout had 2 shots in the last minute of this period, which really put the onus on Bechtold to try to do something.
Right now, here we go into the sudden victory period. You just wrestled 7 hard minutes, and now you got to go first. You have to be the first one to get the shot and capitalize on it.
And we know Stout has a great gas tank. Both wrestlers do. And a lot of close-in hand fighting, so sometimes that can take a toll on you as well. There's Stout with another shot.
One thing we've seen from this Bucknell team today is their shot defense. They've been great at their scrambles and just being able to work out.
That's a great point. It's a really good point, and it's really what allowed them to win 184. Stout there, again on another shot. Now, Bechtold's got to be careful. He has that one stall.
Bechtold almost tried to snap down in that one. Now we're working out. They do call the stall on Stout, so now we're even at 1 stall call apiece.
Yeah, it was very effective by Bechtold there. Stout got a little bit off balance, and Bechtold was never going to finish that takedown, but just smartly just forced his opponent off the mat to pick up the stall. And I really, you never want to see a match end on a stall. So hopefully we get a takedown here to win this.
Right, and if you're Pitt, you really need this win. You're only up by 5. This could put Bucknell up 13-15, and you never know what's going to happen in that heavyweight match.
It would certainly make for some very exciting television as Bechtold spins behind Stout, trying to take him to his back. They spin around and 3 points at the end. Bechtold, another last-second victory.
Bechtold with the celebration. His Bucknell teammates going pretty crazy up here, and it'll be the 4-1 victory for the Bucknell Bison.
Wow, just a really great wrestling match all around, and Bechtold just waited for that one opportunity, and he was able to